we're doing it today. You know what, guys? I got new merch. It's available now, crowdmade.com/Jayztwocents. We got zip-up hoodies, we got tri-blend, we got a new logo. I digress. Since 2012, it's a digress logo. You guys have been asking for that. Anyway, we got all kinds of stuff. Zip-up hoodies, beanies, polos. Don't take my word for it, because obviously I can't do this ad. So just look in the description below and you guys will find the link. Thanks. All right, here we go. Steve, like I said in our last video, Steve threw down that gauntlet. And he beat our score. But there's a big asterisk, and I say asterisk. Asterisk. So Steve threw down the gauntlet, but here's the thing. The original RIPGN and RIPJ competition was about the 2080 Ti because we just sort of were having fun and overclocking it on air conditioning and water and stuff, and then it started to progress from there to ice buckets and air conditioners with ice buckets and dry ice, at least for me anyway. I'm the only one that went exotic cooling so far. And we had this gentleman's agreement to not use LN2. And in our last video, I mentioned that we went ahead and said, screw it, and we went LN2. And I went ahead and honored that agreement until I saw that Steven decided to start using the Titans. So that means all bets are off, as far as I'm concerned. By the way, I got a little bone to pick with Steve, and I pointed this out to him. He said that we pulled a Linus and we were playing the game, no one's playing with single card. Fair enough, he doesn't watch our videos. I don't really watch his either, to be fair. So I guess fairness is all around. Oh my God, Jay hates Steve. I said in that video very specifically, so hopefully you guys saw it, that we were only doing CPU score. We were trying to improve our CPU score enough to make up for what was obviously going to be him beating our GPU score. But because Steve went with the Titans, I decided our goal here is gonna be to beat his score using our 2080 Ti's. Now we're doing two different approaches, and this is now quite literally just an XOC match, which stands for extreme overclocking, if you know what XOC means. So now it's on. Okay, so here is the setup. Basically the same as we had for dry ice. Two 1600 watt power supplies. Our 9980XE with our Kingpin cooling pot, our latest, Kingpin's latest design. But what I'm doing right now is I've got a pond pump that's in here. Even though it's sitting in an ice bath, you still have to have some sort of water flow through the fins to have a better transfer. So we've got this guy here. Basically this is just like, it looks like a shower head. Sure, it's only part of it, but from what I've seen so far, we just need water moving through a portion of it to get the effect that we need. Worst case scenario, what I can do like last time is take this off, blow the water across it, and then our radiator is actually sitting on screws or pegs that are holding it up off the floor so water can go through. So we're almost ready to do this. So I've got to update drivers right now on this system. We saved our profile from a 5.9. I'm gonna load that profile, but then I'm gonna dial it back some to like maybe 5.6, 5.7, work back up to that 5.9, and then just go for it with GPUs without pushing GPU to the absolute limit. I don't want to run out of LN2 before I post a score that's going to beat Steve. And yeah, in fact, what's that score going to be? All right, so his CPU score is a 12,355. Remember, we broke 14,000. His graphics score was a 16,652. So yeah, we definitely won't catch him in graphics. That's because obviously our 2080 Ti's are not going to go as far as his. Ours is a 15,914, so we're not that far behind. We're gonna catch up so much on CPU that Steven's gonna have no choice but to go exotic cooling to beat us, which means we're gonna have no choice but to go Titans someday. And that's why this season 2 is gonna be fun. So I don't wanna waste any of the LN2 that we've got over here because we've only got 10 liters. We've got only this little guy, right? The torch fell over. So we've only got this little guy to get us through this, and normally when people are doing, oh, Jesus Christ, when people are doing overclocks and stuff, they have a lot more in reserves. Well, we know we're not. Think positive. If we die and we beat Steve, did we really die? Stab that with your knife. but not my finger. Ah! Ah! Oh God, dude, water's flying over here. That's a burst disc, just in case it gets capped off. Sometimes, especially after Mexican food. Ah! Ah, it's spraying back at me. Like Peter North and shit. Now, when I did my CPU video, a lot of people saw me doing this and were kind of freaking out, thinking I was capping this off and making a bomb. I wasn't capping it. If you guys watch, I never even actually screwed it on. I was getting the condensation off of it and just setting it on there so we don't burn off as much of our fluid. Trust me, I'm trying not to turn that into a pipe bomb. Uh-oh.
Oh God. You shoved those cards.
Uh-oh. So let's go ahead and just run one score. This is also only at 5.7, I think I do right now. 5.7 or 5.5, let me see. 5.7. So this should, theoretically, give us a higher score than we got previously. And it should beat Steve. Maybe. This should definitely be our winning score right here already. But I mean, obviously we want to see how far we can go. 15.455 was my previous best. 15.649. So we already beat our best, and I think we're still a couple hundred points behind Steve. Yeah, he's at 15.826. But that's at 5.7. Remember, we got 5.9 to work. So we've frozen the bearings on the VRM fan because the vapors are just going down on it, and so it's freezing like the bearing grease or whatever's in there. It's running at 1.55 volts or something, I think. Come on. 15.720. Jeez, I don't know if we're gonna be able to beat Steve. Graphics score 16.068. That's higher graphics score than I've had before. Wow.
I need to find 100 points.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
6 gigahertz?
So we're thinking now, since I've, whoa, shit, I missed. Since I've gotta come up with 100 extra points just to match him, at this point, what do I have to lose? So I'm just gonna go for broke at this point, and I'm gonna try pumping more voltage in it. Do 1.5, or 1.515, no, 1.55. 2.35 on the VIN, holy crap. Okay, fingers crossed. This is already better than we got on our last 6 gigahertz. But then again, I took the voltage, it just went. I think I might have froze. Give it a minute. We were doing so good.
4 volts.
Yeah, it wasn't a super hard lock. Reset button worked. You want something? You got any more of them volts?
All right, moment of truth.
Come on.
Oh, right when it.
That's usually when we run out of voltage. So I'm dropping the voltage back, the voltage too, but I'm dropping the clock down, I'm bringing the mesh up, and we're just gonna try and get us some more memory here. We have no choice. I mean, 6 just wasn't gonna seem to happen right there. And as soon as I started the CPU test, yeah, just power fault. We've got the GPU, or the power supply is going to 2 different circuits in the building. When we experienced the shutdowns like this last time, that was when we were dealing with our VIN was too low. I don't want to add more VIN, it was already at 2.4. I have no idea how high we can go on that safely. So I don't want to end our day super early because I blew something up. So I'm hoping 5.9. I can't believe bringing the CPU score up to where we did was not enough to get ahead of Steve. I wanted to do it with the 2080 Ti's, and I probably could. If I had like Kingpin cards or something, then obviously, because there's less power limit, so we could just push those farther, put LN2 on there and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this is frustrating. Fun, but frustrating. GPU crash. See, this one just shut down too. 5.9, slightly tighter timings, just a couple of things. Nope. Speaking of stable.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Woo. Okay, we're at minus 105. What just? Oh, it's okay. Like Steven said, if the engine falls out at the end of the drag race, but you still cross the finish line first, you win. I hope my engine doesn't fall out. I hate how long it sits there. Okay, cool. Fucking hell. It doesn't like that timing. I knew it wasn't going to. Well, I'm not out of LN2 yet. Okay, that's it. This is out. Now we got 1 thermos left.
It's always right here where it passes cloud gate.
I slowed it down.
Sorry, I said it.
This is quite literally our last attempt. I'm not feeling too confident in this one. I mean, we beat our previous score, but obviously we should have. It's a better CPU that's clocked way freaking higher. And I'm happy that we beat our GPU score as well. I really thought we'd be able to carry and beat Steve with two 2080 Ti still with LN2 on the CPU. GPU started crashing in an area where they weren't crashing before. Dialed everything back to where we were when we did our very first test. What I've got is about this much here in this thermos. That's the last of my LN2. This is our last test. At the very least, we'll be able to upload our score and move up the leaderboard from what, number 9 or whatever, get a little bit deeper into the top 10. All right, well now the tests aren't loading, so I want to see if we can do a Cinebench run on the CPU real quick. I'm really curious as to what our score would be. Not sure it's going to even pass, to be honest. I think it's just going to crash instantly, but I'm going to try it. Because at least we'll get something out of this video. Well, you're going to get more, obviously. This is going to go on for a while. We keep leapfrogging. This time he jumped so far ahead, I didn't get a chance to really leapfrog. So the ball's in my court, and it's going to be fun and interesting, I think. But let's see if we can't get through a Cinebench test with 5.9 just to see what happens. I'm going to pour what little bit I still have in here in there. Just slam it. All right, that's all of it. It's in there. Keep going. Cool, 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 cool. Screw it, go. We got one frame. Boom. All right, well, if you guys have ever heard the story I told very deep dug down somewhere in one of the Tech Talk archives, I talked about a time I was walking home and was eating a Baby Ruth. And had to go to the bathroom really bad and almost made it home. I made it as far as my neighbor's yard, where I then proceeded to poop myself while wearing shorts while eating a Baby Ruth, and my neighbor was mowing his lawn, watching me shit myself in his front yard. So since I just shat myself today, I find it's only befitting to enjoy a Baby Ruth. Coming for you, Steve, just not today. It brings back memories. The memories. Vince was like, cracking sound could be your thermal brace. Your thermal brace breaking. Phil's not.
Jeez, dude.
Do you ever wonder how a guy as stupid as me can do this? Oh! Jay, you're doing LN2.
So
you're
good.
going down a path I can't follow. I don't know you anymore. I love her. From my perspective, Gamers Nexus is evil.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from South Carolina. Actually, it's North Carolina.
Wow.
You can't win, Steve. I have the high ground. No, no, no. Strike him down. Complete your training. Let the LN2 flow through you. I can't stop him. Help me, Anakin. No, no.